Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is being safe. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. So take your sanitizer and rub inside your hands, around your hands, in between your fingers, on your wrists, and your fingertips too. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be doing writing and length. Now for our lesson, boys and girls, we are going to start on page 12. On page 12, we have a writing exercise. The first thing we're going to do is sequencing. Now, as you can see, we have 4 pictures and each of them, when put in the correct order, tell a story. It's going to be our job to number the pictures according to the way they should be. Then we're going to use numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Afterwards, it's going to be our job to now write a story about what the vocabulary words have to say with our pictures. So the first thing we do is to number them. The first picture we can see is of a football hitting a vase. Wow. Oh, I'm sure that's not going to end very well. The second one that we can see is of our green teddy bear kicking his football near the vase. I'm sure we now know where this is going. The third one that we can see below is of teddy bear, and this time he's very worried because the beautiful vase is broken and we can see that the football was the cause of it. Then the last one that we can see is of a beautiful vase. So now we have to number them. Which one do you think is number 1? Well, it can't be the one where the vase is already broken. And I don't think it can be the one where the ball is hitting the vase. So I'm going to say that the first one is when the vase is standing straight by itself. Then 2 will be teddy bear kicking the vase, as we can see. We can see him playing with the football. Then our number 3 can be the one where you can see the football hitting the vase. That makes the last picture where Teddy is worried and the vase is broken and the football is the cause. That one is going to be number 4. If you already knew this sequence, well done! You are clever. That means you know when pictures are telling a story. Good job. So now we have to write a short story about what we can see. Remember, every time we write anything, we need to know our capital letters and our full stops. So as we write along the way, please don't forget that. So we have our words that have been used. The first one is the word teddy bear. They would like us to use the phrase teddy bear. And then the next one that's there is the word flower vase. So they want us to use flower vase. Some people say vase, other people say vase. It's still the same thing. I'm going to use vase. Then the next one we have is football. Now I'm going to use only these three to make up my sentences. Remember, boys and girls, when you're writing sentences, you start with an introduction. You cannot just start out of nowhere. So we need to make an introduction for our story. The first thing that I'm going to say is, Mother had a beautiful flower vase in the living room. Now that is going to be the one that we're going to start with first because of the picture of the vase. So we're going to start by saying, Mother had a beautiful flower vase. We're going to start with capital letter M for the word mother. Now remember, boys and girls, when you are writing, make sure that all your words are the same size. You cannot have big words, you cannot have small words. They need to be the same size. Then, if you'd like, if you're not sure about your spacing, you can use 2 fingers or 1 finger spacing. Now remember, spacing helps us to organize our writing. So you can put your finger right next to the word and then you write the next word after your fingers. Mother had a beautiful. Remember, the word beautiful is quite long. So if you're going to write it, make sure you spell it correctly. You can even copy this one so that you can start your sentences. I have misspelled the word beautiful. B-U. And then teacher needs to put a. She needs to put a. There we go. B-U. Then teacher needs to put a T. Then an I. Now we can continue. Beautiful. There we go. Now, I don't have enough space to put the next sentence. So, we need to decide. Do I continue on this space that's left? Or do I go to the next line? Now, if you're listening carefully, we need to actually go to the next line because the next word is flower. And I don't think the word flower would fit. So we need to go to the next line. Beautiful flower. Remember to shape all your letters correctly. Now after the word flower, we're using this phrase, flower vase. That's part of the vocabulary we were given. So go ahead and write flower vase. There we go. And you can continue your sentence by saying in the living room. But I'm going to stop here because I can see that my space is a little bit small. So I will put a full stop. Now my sentence says, Mother had a beautiful flower vase. I have used the word they have wanted me to use for the vocabulary, which was flower and vase. So go ahead and cross them out if you have also used them. So the next part of the story, I want to tell what is happening in the picture. So I need to take a good look at the picture. And we said number 2 is where we can see the teddy bear kicking the ball towards the flower vase. So my sentence can say, Teddy bear was playing with his football in the house. So I'm going to change my color so you can see the difference between the two sentences. I'm going to start with the word teddy bear. Now, teddy bear is part of our vocabulary words. So once you use it, go ahead and cross it out. Capital letter T for the beginning of the sentence. So we start with T and then we can continue. Teddy. Remember, teddy has double D in it. Then your finger spacing. Very good. And make sure that, boys and girls, when you are writing, don't rush. Try and make your neat work look even neater by taking your time. So we now have teddy bear, and then the next word is was. Now the next space that I have after putting my finger spacing is only this much. So that means it won't fit, meaning we have to go to the next line. So teddy bear was, there we go. And then we continue. Teddy bear was playing. There we go, playing. Then finger spacing. If you don't need the finger spacing, that's okay too. But make sure that your finger spacing, if you don't have one, is even. Because every time I put my finger, I must be able to see the spacing. Teddy bear was playing with, and then we put his. Now, here is a question. Do you think the word football is going to fit? This is our word football. I think that it won't fit because after putting my finger spacing, I don't have much left. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next line and write the word football. There we go. So I'm saying teddy bear was playing with his football. I am not yet done. We said in the house. So football and then in, finger spacing, the, very good, finger spacing, house. Now my sentence is complete. And to show it, I must put a full stop. So I have written 2 sentences about the 2 pictures using 2 of the vocabulary, in fact 3 of the vocabulary words. I've used teddy bear, and teddy bear is here, so I'm going to cross it out. I have used football, and football is here, so I will cross that out. And I have used flower vase, and we have already crossed it out. Now my story says, Mother had a beautiful flower vase or vase. Teddy bear was playing with his football in the house. So far I've got a great story, and I'm sure you already know how this story ends. So the next 2 pictures you're going to do by yourselves. Take a good look at the picture and don't forget to use the vocabulary words we have been given. Take your time, boys and girls, and make sure you start every sentence with a capital letter and finish it with a full stop. If you need to, use your finger spacing. I'll see you when you're done writing after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For our lesson now, boys and girls, we are going to go to page 13. On page 13, we are going to be doing length. Now, we know that length has something to do with meters and centimeters. Today, we are going to use the ruler to measure the length of the objects below. We have 3 knives. Now, as you can see, each knife has a different length. So, I'm going to show you how to use your ruler to measure each knife. Then, I need you to please write how many centimeters each one is so that you don't get confused. Let's take a look at the board. Now, my ruler here is too small for you to see what is going on. So, I have a special ruler that helps me show you. Now, this one is also in centimeters, but it's just a little bit bigger. Let's take a look at how we can use our rulers. Now, if you have a ruler with you, well done. What you first need to do is find where it says cm, 0 cm. That is where you're going to put your first point. Now, every time we are measuring something, there is a starting point and a finishing point. We are going to put our ruler where it says cm on the starting point. So, once we have put our ruler on the starting point, then we can measure by reading the numbers on the ruler. For this ruler, we can see that it is going from 1, 2, and 3, which is actually 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters, and 30 centimeters. So, if I were to measure this line, I would say that this line is 30 centimeters long. So, I can go ahead and write the measurement. This is 30 centimeters. That is the length of my line. Now let's say there is no line, but I have been given a task to still measure. Well, what I can do is maybe they want me to measure this circle. They want to know where it starts and where it ends. From this point to that point. Now, you can go ahead and start with your starting point line, the one that is right on the object, like how I have done. So this is my starting point line. And remember, we said on the starting point line, you put your 0 centimeters, the one that is on your ruler. Then, make sure that you also put a ending line or a finishing line. After you've put a starting line and a finishing line, draw a line across. That way, it will help guide your ruler. So I'm just going to draw any line across. And I have a line. So I'm going to find out what is the length of our circle from our starting point to our finishing point using the guidance of the line. I take my ruler, I put it on the starting line, starting from where it says 0 cm. After that, I measure my line. So, from 0 cm, I can now read. Here is where 30 is. But where my finishing line is, there is no number. So I have to count the lines. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So now I know that my line or the length of the circle is 35. So I can also say that which line is longer and which line is shorter. If I am looking for the longer line, that means that it is bigger in length. In this case, if I were to say between 30 centimeter line, this one, and my 35 centimeter line, I can say that this one is longer. That would make this line the shorter line, the 30 centimeter line. So, now that I've taught you all the tricks and tips on how to measure with your ruler, I want you to try and do your exercise by yourself. First, measure all 3 knives, but don't forget to label them in terms of their size. And then after that, you're going to answer questions for number 2 that ask you which one is the shorter and which one is the longer line. When you're done, you're going to go to number 3 to measure the items that you can see below as well. Then, number 4 is asking you to measure the length of the arrow. And after that, you're going to draw a line that is shorter than the arrow. So take your time, there's no need to rush, and I suggest that you use a pencil. Just in case you make a mistake, you can erase your mistake. Have fun, boys and girls, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson and I hope you had fun. Remember, if you don't know what to do or you are confused, that's okay, you can always ask an adult for help. But make sure that you finish your work by yourself. So now that we are done with our lesson, it's time to sanitize. Remember, when we're sanitizing, we are showing the world that we care about everyone around us. Sanitizing is not just for us, but for our parents too, and everyone we come in contact with. So sanitize as regularly as possible. So now that we're done with sanitizing, I think Sashi can come and play. I thought I saw him getting into the classroom. Oh, there you are, Sashi. So, from Sashi and I, thank you so much for joining us and we will see you next time. Goodbye!
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.